Finally, I know it's been a while, but I finally finished watching the Vomit Gore trilogy, ending it with Regurgitated Sacrifice and Slow Torture Puke Chamber. Um, Watched them back to back. It's been a long time coming. I said I was going to do this a lot sooner than I did, but finally watched them the other night, and they did not disappoint. In fact, when you hit a certain deal, like Lucifer Valentine did with Slaughtered Vomit Dolls, you got your gore, you got your vomit, you got Amira LeVay doing what she does with the whole confessional thing, and you pretty much expect each movie after that to kind of be a carbon copy almost, because like where do you go from there? More vomiting, more gore, more semi-realism. Um, but no. I see in each one where the game got stepped up just a tad bit more each time I watched another one of these movies. Let's start, first of all, with Regurgitated Sacrifice. This time around, though, I did not watch the special features. The special features, I felt in the first one, really revealed a lot about the movie. This time around, I was just kind of draw my very own concept of what I was watching. I may be overthinking these. A lot of people might say, there's not much to that. Maybe they're right, but I have to believe that these things were shot with a certain amount of purpose, so therefore I'm drawing from what I'm seeing, and I'm trying to gather exactly what's going on. Let's start with the twins. I forgot what they were called. The Dark Angels of Hell or something like that. I can't really remember off the bat. Um, they were a nasty little duo. I really like their performance. I like what they brought to the set. The things they did. The some of the sadomasochism that was involved. The slapping. The hitting. Some choking. It was pretty right on. But what were they? I mean, were they demons from hell? Were they uh, taking Amira LeVay's soul, or I'm sorry, Aberdeen? What was her name? Aberdeen. Her character. Were they taking her soul to hell? Was that what they were doing? The more I watched it, I thought that's what they were going to do. I thought that's what it was. And at first, when they showed them joined at the heads, I thought that was like life and death. And when they separated the two, it was like she was going between those two, life and death. Uh, then I started to gather that each person that met up with them, each person they met that they put through their little tortures and um, their meetings, I started to think, wait a minute, because at the end, towards the end, I'm hoping I'm not spoiling anything here. Really, I mean, I don't think I am. But one of the girls says that she's the character of, what is her name? Angela Aberdeen? Is that it? Or Angela Aberdeen? I really had, I really should have read this thing a little closer. Sorry, my apologies. But if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. She says my name is Aberdeen, and it's like, but that wasn't Amira LeVay that said it. So that's when I started to catch on. Were each of these people like different personas of who she was? Were they all, everyone that was dying, each one of them was being killed off. Each one of them was dying. And each one of them, I feel, represented like something inside of her that was dying. And like at the end of the movie, at the end of the first movie, she was in a tub drowning. She had killed herself. And I felt what we were witnessing now was her life was drifting from her. And these two girls were the ones ushering her in. When Hank Skinny came on the scene, and everybody loves Hank, that part, I started to wonder, what exactly is his role? He just kind of shows up. So I wasn't sure. Does he play the devil? Is he playing like the devil and he's devouring these souls, these bodies that come to him? It gave me a lot to think about. I was really just kind of digging on a lot of the gore and a lot of the things that went on there. And I held it together better this time, I have to say. The first time I saw it, when Hank started drinking the puke, I gagged. Second time around, I held it together. I'm getting a little stronger with these. So, hooray for me. But, yeah, I believe, I'm starting to think that what we're witnessing here through each movie is either each character is a different persona inside of Angela Aberdeen. I hope I said her name right. Because later on we see Amira LaVey and she's pregnant. And she looks good pregnant, by the way, I have to say. She looks really good pregnant. But I somehow felt like that represented something she never got to be. Like her maternal side in her. That was dying too. Everything she was and everything she could have been was slowly dying. We were watching this take place as she was drowning in the tub from the first part. So that was kind of my take on Regurgitated Sacrifice. I did notice that there was, of course, this little speech that she wrote to Kurt Cobain. It was about his suicide, and that I really couldn't tell you exactly why that was put in there. At first I thought it was just a little ode to Kurt Cobain, but then I started thinking maybe their souls met. Maybe, maybe her suicide coincided with his suicide, and she was telling him something as they passed each other. I don't know. Like I said, I could be way overthinking this movie. But I really did dig it. I did dig the addition of the twin girls. That was a nice plus. And then right after, I popped in Slow Torture Puke Chamber. Now we have a new girl playing Amira LaVey's role of Angela Aberdeen. And that kind of sealed it for me that the Angela Aberdeen we were seeing was either Amira LaVey's Angela Aberdeen was the real Angela Aberdeen, or she was just another persona inside of this new girl. I think her name was Hope. She was really good. Not hard to look at either. I like those eyes. She had some really nice eyes, big eyes. Again, as the movie progressed, I started thinking, okay, we're looking at either different circles of hell, or we're looking at the different personas inside of Angela being killed off one by one by one by one. At first, you know what I started to think? I started to think that Angela Aberdeen's soul was put into this new girl. Like she was reborn somehow into this girl's body, and now that's why we saw a new Angela Aberdeen. But no, as I watched it, I started to think, no, this is still her death progressing. And Hank Skinny really brought it with the whole baby scene. That was kind of crazy. I did like the segments of her talking about her bulimia, talking about the things she went through, the recorded story of the father and the daughter, the way she was jealous of her mom because he would come to her the father would come to the daughter and use her for sex, but he would still go to the mom, even though the mom was cold to him, and she felt jealous of that, which I thought was a very interesting take on the whole incestuous relationship. It didn't sound like the girl she didn't see herself as a victim, more so as she felt like a jilted lover, and I thought that was kind of an interesting take on that. But was that added in because this is something that Angela had gone through, and she was remembering this as she lay dying in a bathtub? Could be. I started to realize that the first movie wasn't as cut and dry as I thought it was going to be. The first movie I thought was along the lines of showing that, no little girl ever thinks that those kind of things will befall them as they grow older. No one grows up thinking I'm going to be a drug addict, or I'm going to be a prostitute, or I'm going to be a call girl, and all these terrible things are going to happen to me. That's what I took from the first movie. But as you watch the second and third movies, the first one becomes a little more profound, a little deeper than that. And then each one progresses in its depth. Do I like these movies? Yes, I definitely like these movies. I'm definitely glad I got to finally watch them. I'm way behind on watching them. The whole world's seen it besides me. Uh, so yeah, I'm sorry for the late deal on these. I had promised these a while back, and just now got around to watching them. But I'm glad I did. I'm really glad I did. And now that I'm doing this, I'm going to go back and I'm going to check out the special features and see what it has to say on that. The interviews with everyone. I always like those behind the scenes interviews. Those are always cool. Lucifer Valentine sounds like a very down to earth kind of guy. He really does. He sounds like just somebody you'd hang out with. He doesn't sound like he tries to go out of his way to be like overly offensive or anything like that. Just he is who he is, and when I hear him in the interviews, he just sounds like the guy next door. He just sounds like a cool dude. So yeah, I find those interesting. I find it interesting what you will find uh, behind the scenes in these movies, the little interviews and stuff. It reveals another layer of the movie somehow. Really interested in hearing the interview with the twins, because those girls are pretty wild. I like them. Uh, but that's my semi-coherent review of Regurgitated Sacrifice and Slow Torture Puke Chamber. Of course, the first movie, Slaughtered Vomit Dolls, it all makes this nice little vomit gore trilogy that I believe anybody who is into extreme titles should own these. Definitely own them. If you get the box set, I believe it comes with another movie called A Perfect Child of Satan, which I have yet to see. I don't know if I'm ever going to get the box set or not. And now everybody's reviewing this one called Black Metal Veins. I'm really eager to see that. If I can ever get a copy of it, I'm definitely going to check it out, and I'll definitely review that one as well. Make a nice addition to the whole E-Factor deal. But I'm going to try and do these E-Factor ones a little quicker, and I have a couple of them coming up real soon, including an all-new revamped review of Angel's Melancholy, because guess what? Finally got subtitles for that bad boy, so I'm finally going to know what the hell's going on in that movie, other than somebody pissing and shitting all over everybody. But hope you enjoyed this, guys. Thanks for viewing, as always. Always appreciated. Definitely check out those the Lucifer Valentine movies. See what you get from them. See what you take from them. Do you just see what it is? Do you take it for what it is? Just, some horrendous killing along with some vomiting and so on and so forth, with a little sex thrown in for flavor? Or do you take something more from it? Personally, I take a little more than that from it. I think there's definitely something to be seen there. But don't let me deter you. Don't let me confuse you with my ramblings. Go check it out ASAP. Till next time, guys. Take care. Talk to you soon.